What's up, all you beautiful people? Today, I want to talk about House of the Dragon Season 2. I mean, obviously, I didn't talk about the first season on my YouTube channel. Wasn't there? Was I doing it then? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. This has kind of been just the big talk of the town lately. It's because people are divided. I don't know. Are they even divided? Are we all on the same page? I feel like we're all on the same page, but it was a bit of a letdown. It was kind of a tease. Actually, it was 100% a tease. Don't get me wrong. This show is still great. It definitely has moments where it is right on par with Game of Thrones. It still feels like Game of Thrones. It's still amazing. The lore, the world building, everything like that. The slow build. You know, they even still have the OG Game of Thrones music in the intro, which is just hilarious because I literally, when I'm talking to people about this show, I tell them that I'm watching Game of Thrones on Sunday, or have you seen Game of Thrones? Or you get to call it the fun hot beat. I mean, other than that, it's just, this season was just not what it should have been. It's confusing because when I was going in to watch the last episode at my buddy's house, I was excited. You know, I thought stuff was going to happen. Everybody was talking about, my friends, they were talking about how it's been a slow build and it's like, you know, nothing's happened in this. And I was just kind of like, this is Game of Thrones. This is what they do. This is their thing. They take a long time to build stuff up. A lot, you know, this is how the process works. So it's just kind of surprising when I learned that there's only supposed to be 4 seasons. Now, it's kind of confusing because at first my buddy had told me, oh, there's only supposed to be 3 seasons. And I was like, oh, okay, we have not moved very far then if there's only supposed to be 3 seasons. And then we have the stupid cash grab thing that I never expected HBO to do, is that they are drawing out what sounds like the end of this story into 2 seasons because they got to make more money. And that's a big letdown for me with HBO because HBO is known for not doing that stuff. They're known for making the story and what they want it to be. Obviously, Game of Thrones had that whole issue because that was based off the books. R.R. Martin wouldn't get his ass up and finish them, taking 10 years to write a goddamn book. So they kind of just fell into a little pit that they couldn't recover from. But this book is done. It's finished. It's been done for a while. I don't know how long, but people love it and they talk about it quite a lot. And they say how crazy it's going to get. You know, this shit's going to happen. We're going to have dragons dance. We're going to have dragons battling. We're going to have dragons just fucking shit up. And that's what I wanted to see. And we got about 1 episode of dragons fucking shit up, and it was awesome. And I loved it. Then we just cut back to Daemon and Harrenhal just tripping balls, all for him to just say, all right, Rhaenyra, I'm on your team. Here we go. Apparently that doesn't happen in the book. Apparently it's just like he goes away and then he comes back and he's with Rhaenyra. That's the whole thing. You'd think that you could trim that out a little bit and, you know, make something a little bit, you know, trim the fat and add some more exciting stuff. Like even if you just add some stupid extra dragon battles maybe that aren't in the book. I don't know. Like I said to my friends, I wasn't too worried about it because, like I said before, it's just a slow build. That's what Game of Thrones does. And then when I learned how much little we have left, like there's no possible way we can have that kind of build up that the OG series actually did. It's just not going to work that way because I always see it as we get this build up, and that is why the epic shit that happens in these shows hits so hard. It's because you build it up and you lead up to it. You make us care about the characters. You make us understand the story. You're into everything. You're invested. So when the crazy shit happens, where R.R. Martin likes to just kill off whoever he can kill off, it hits hard. It's just kind of, I don't know. I'm just worried because now we're at a weird spot. We're like I was saying about the build up, and then when I thought there was only 1 more season, I was like, oh god. So now we just got to cram everything into the last season, kind of like we did with Game of Thrones. But now realizing, you know, it's 1 book that's actually not very long for R.R. Martin. Now it's got to be stretched out to 2 seasons. It's just the thing that's been pissing me off lately with TV, specifically because I think Amazon Prime is really bad at marketing their shows. Because I went to go watch Invincible, and Invincible had that stupid half-season break, and I stopped watching. Because I didn't know that was happening. I came in, I watched 4 episodes, then they stopped coming out. I didn't know. I didn't see that anywhere. I didn't even know the new season of The Boys came out. And like, I follow movie and TV, Instagram pages, YouTube channels, all that stuff. I should kind of know when these things are happening, at least a little bit, but I had no idea. I just saw a random friend text about it. Even with Attack on Titan, the whole way that the end of that series came out, it's just annoying. They keep drawing things out. They gotta have. I wish they would have more of a set plan when they go into things like Marvel used to, or the way they used to make trilogies, because you can tell when it's not a cohesive story that they're planning to do from the beginning to the end. Yeah, now that I'm done with the ranting of like kind of the negatives of the show, I want to talk about how amazing the show still is. The actors and actresses in the show, they all are so good. Every moment, the character choices that they pick, everything that happens, even Kristen Cole, who everybody hates, he's doing a great job of being somebody that people hate. He's definitely giving off that Joffrey vibe. Definitely not the same level, but even him, you know, they're all doing a great job. The show still feels like an HBO show. It still feels highly produced. It feels like Game of Thrones. And that's the best compliment that I could give it, even though it's kind of had this little lackluster this season. Actually, that makes it feel a bit more like Game of Thrones, having a little bit of the drop-off, but we'll see what happens in the last couple seasons. The effects look great. Anytime a dragon is doing anything, it is so fun to watch. The scale is amazing. I still love seeing the scenery. I want an open world Skyrim version of Westeros so badly. It would be so fun to run around in these cities. The show really is great, but it just kind of sucks that this is the way that things are kind of going. I'm really interested to see what happens when Rings of Power comes out, because, you know, these shows both came out at the same time when the first seasons premiered, and people weren't super high on Rings of Power, even though I liked it quite a bit, and people were super high on House of the Dragon. Now Rings of Power comes out in a few weeks, and House of the Dragon just ended. So I'm wondering, I kind of hope, just for my pleasure, I'm hoping that season 2 of Rings of Power is actually really awesome and kind of stands out, kind of polar opposites of House of the Dragon, where season 1 is really good, and season 2 also really good, but had this weird kind of drop-off lull thing. Like, we just did not need all this filler, and it really was. And I just can't believe how surprised I am by it, because I had so much faith going into the last episode until I learned more context about the situation and kind of what's going on. Granted, I'd still give this a solid recommend. I mean, this show is still an 8 out of 10 show. I have IMDb pulled up here. I think they still have it at a 8.4 out of 10. You know, it really is still that good. It's just when things are this good, you just have such high expectations, so it's so easy for you to be let down. I mean, you should definitely still go see this. House of the Dragon rocks. I'm still looking forward to apparently the next 2 seasons, which I don't know. I thought there was 1 season, and I don't know now. I don't know what the fuck's happening anymore. But anyways, let me know what you thought down in the comments below. Let me know if you want me to do a little bit of breakdown on every episode. I could do that. And then let me know what other content you kind of want to see, what you want me to talk about, what you want me to kind of break down. Just let me know, and then give me a like and subscribe.